Mark, you ready?
We are ready, sir.
First, what a great college football game. And we're seeing so much parity in college football. And it's like a roller coaster when you hop on it. You feel like you're in good shape. And then you go back down, you come back. But one thing this team hasn't done this year is won a tough game at the end and found a way to win. And what we've talked about all week is the when we got adversity on offense at Virginia Tech, we didn't handle it very well. When we had adversity at Georgia Tech and turned the ball over so much, the defense finally cracked and we didn't hang in there like we normally would have. And then last week against Florida State, we're up 10-0 to start the game in the first quarter. Then they get the 60-yard run and it looked like we let up and we just lost our confidence. So I don't know if it's frustration. I don't know if it's disappointment from the expectations that they know we haven't handled them. They're letting each other down. They're letting the fans down. I don't know. So tonight we said we're playing a very, very talented team, probably as talented as we'll play. And there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some adversity and you're going to be in trouble. Just find a way to win. That's the only thing that's important tonight. So there'll be all the coaches will want to out there. I want to gripe about this and gripe about that. I'm really, really happy that we beat Miami and give them credit. Quarterback played well. We let them off the field too many times on 3rd and 4th down, but we had the great 4th and 4 stop that might have won the game before the interception at the end by our 2 backers and Coach Bateman put them in the right place. But with Jeremiah tipping the ball and that thing stayed in the air for about an hour and a half. I saw it go through Ritzy's hands, and I think it might have been Vahasek. They were all fighting for it. It was all tipping. I said, somebody just get that ball. And obviously we did to make a play to win the game. So entirely too many penalties. I think there'll be some we'll probably send to the conference office tomorrow to be reviewed. But we'll keep looking at that every day to see if we can do a better job by having fewer penalties. Sam Howell was unbelievable with his ability to make plays with his feet. So just thought the kicking game was really good. We were so close to blocking 2 punts. We were right there and just couldn't get there. And we had a great kickoff return. But the most important thing and the thing that I'm so excited about is we found a way to win. And winning is all that matters in this business. And let me say, Manny Diaz has done a good job. They've got great young players. And they played their hearts out tonight. You sit and watch their Virginia game the night they played. They had Virginia beat, and they missed a field goal with one of the best kickers in the country right at the end. And they kept fighting and came back. They had 80 yards total offense at halftime, ended up with 400 something. So they had entirely too much the second half and took a drive from the -4 yard line all the way down to score and go for 2 and make it. So that team hasn't quit on him and they continue to fight. And you got to give them a lot of credit. Questions?
Thank you, Coach. We will begin with Patrick Welter.
Mack, I know there was at your own 31 there, that final 4th and 6, but what was it about your defense that gave you faith to punt the ball there as opposed to giving it to Sam Howell to have one play to win the game?
Well, I'd rather us made the first down, but we looked really bad those last 2 offensive series. I'm going to have some conversations about why. I know that we were trying to run the ball, and I know that we wanted to milk the clock and get rid of their 3 timeouts, but they still had a chance to win the game. And we've got to do a better job of using the clock, but still trying to make sure that we score. And if we had scored even 3 points when we're in pretty good position there with the drive before the last 2, we get a field goal. That makes it a 2-score game with 14 points and puts them in a lot more trouble than with 11. So, but I didn't think, I thought the offense played really well tonight. They did some great things, but I didn't like the way we handled the last 2 series.
Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Coach, can you put into words the exhale, the feeling of relief you must have felt after Cedric caught that ball, the way this thing was trending the last 2 quarters?
Andrew, we really can't. I don't think it's sunk in yet. It's kind of like the Duke game. I saw it, and I wanted to make sure it was real. And then you start seeing all your players rush out to the hash mark. You're trying to get them and get them back. And as soon as I get through with you guys, I think I'll probably really sit back and say, this is really cool. What a great win for this program and what a great win for these kids.
A lot of people will parse a lot of the different things that didn't go well in this game, but can winning a game like this when so much didn't go right and you could have lost, is that sometimes that's something that you can really build on? It can ignite a team and launch it forward?
Yes, it really is, Andrew. We're at a point in our society where there are a lot of people negative about everything. And I'm not going to be negative about any of this. What I'll do is I'll go home right now and I'll grade the video 4 or 5 times, like I've said. I'll look at it. There'll be things we can fix tomorrow, but these are kids. And both teams are really good. And what's a shame in college football now, people will be all over Manny and his kids played a great game, just like they did against Virginia. There should be a real positive for the Miami program for how they played and how they handled everything. People will be on us about things because certain people just can't help themselves. And one of the things I love about fans is they love to coach. That's why they come. They get into, you should have done this and you should have done that. And really and truly, it's a whole lot easier to coach when you don't have to. I did it for 5 years on TV, man. I could say anything I wanted, and I didn't know that coach, the kid was sick. I didn't know he was late. I didn't know he was hurt. I didn't know why he substituted, but I could answer it because I didn't have too much information. So I don't mind people being critical because that's part of the reason they come. It's part of the reason they like it. Well, what I've got to do is go fix it. And but if you're a North Carolina fan and you can't be really excited and celebrate tonight, you're probably not the fan we want you to be. You should be in coaching instead of being a fan, because this is really cool. And it was a great win, and I'm proud of these kids. Thank you.
Let's go over to Michael Coe.
Hey, Coach, you've been doing this a long time. I mean, when you look at this game, so many points on the board, all the penalties, the Miami near comeback at the very end. Have you ever been in a game that's played out this way? Like, have you ever coached in a game like this before?
Michael, I probably have 33 years and 12, 13 games every year is a lot of games. So, and I've been lucky enough to win a lot more than I lost, but I mean, we lost 3 seconds left to Texas Tech when we were #1 in the country. And a whistle blew and our player stopped and let Crabtree catch the ball. So, I mean, we beat Nebraska on the last second field goal where they thought the clock ran out because Colt McCoy was throwing the ball away, and that put us in a national championship game. So it's all about winning. And what I don't understand right now, Michael, it seems to me like more than ever, one game doesn't lead to another. It's just crazy. You don't even know who's going to show up. So you've got to coach as hard as you can. Try to get them ready to play. Coach as hard as you can during the week, and then manage whatever happens during the ball game. And our penalties at the first of the game were tough penalties on defense. We've been on our defense all week about being aggressive. Well, there's a difference in being aggressive and having lack of discipline. But they were aggressive penalties. And so we've got to clean that up. But last week, they were sloppy penalties that just hurt us, and we weren't hitting people. Tonight, at least we were flying around getting after people.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Michael.
Adam Smith, go ahead.
Mack, was that Sam Howell or Javonte Williams on those touchdown runs?
Adam, I thought that was probably the biggest difference in our ball game. The turnovers by the defense and Sam's ability. The quarterback draw worked really, really well early, but he's so hard to bring down. And a couple of times he just ran through arms and twisted and went in to score. So that is a new problem that people have to have. And I think that will help us with the pass rush.
I was dating myself. I told Luke up here, it might be Natron Means, but anyway, like, you know how we like to say, you know, what does this mean? And, you know, like take a larger look at it. But I mean, does he almost redefine what he means to you guys almost every passing week. It seems like he's just like, I'm going to do whatever I can to help this team win.
Adam, he really does. Both of these teams tonight were fighting to find an identity. And that's at midseason because we've both been up and down and we both have good players. And it's been frustrating in some ways because we as coaches haven't figured it all out, but the guys still believe and they still work hard. And our team was so passionate tonight. And Sam's part of that. And Jeremiah Gimmel is one of the best leaders I've ever seen. I told you that last year. And he has not let up one bit. And he's on those guys, but he stays positive. And he and Sam have been a huge difference for this team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Luke DeCopp, go ahead.
Hey, Mac, one more question about Sam. One, did you talk to him at all after the pick six and kind of rally him there, or do you have to with him? And two, with the beating he took tonight, and some of it, obviously, he kind of put his head down and took on himself. But are you concerned at all, sort of, at this point in the season, the number of hits he's taken to this point, and you have to kind of tell him maybe slide a little bit more often in those situations?
Well, Luke, number one, we tell him to slide every time unless it's going to be the difference in a first down. And he just doesn't like to slide. He's trying to make more yards, and he's just such a competitor. But he has been told every time to slide. But he is tough, and he's a specimen. He works out all the time. He eats right. His body's in great shape, and this will be a good week for him to be able to rest up. So this should help him feel better for the big game at Notre Dame. Secondly, he has made a difference in his football team. We haven't been as good and as open at the outside wideouts as we would like. We're trying to get that. We had the big play to Antoine Green tonight, but we still got to make more plays out there. People are going to start and continue to start trying to stop Josh Downs because he's been such a prolific player in the first 7 games. But Sam has decided, and Phil, our offensive staff's decided that a huge part of our offense has become Sam running the ball and taking it down and making plays. And he's got such good instincts. He knows when to take it down, and he just did that time and time again tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Luke.
Okay, we have time for one more for Coach, and that will come from CL Brown.
Hey, Mac, you were saying both teams were fighting to find an identity. What do you feel like you learned about your team tonight? What kind of identity does this team have now?
The only thing that matters, CL, in the end is that you're passionate and you're confident and you leave everything out on the field and you find a way to win. And all of that happened with our team tonight. And like I said, the negative people that want to beat everything up, they were probably negative about the movie they saw last week, and probably about their lunch they had and about the dinner they had the night before the game, because this is a real positive for our program. And I am really, really excited about it. And let me say too, CL, that our fans were a difference tonight. Students have been a difference every game, but our fans, it rained, it stormed. They came, they were really, really loud. They picked our guys up throughout the game. And I thought they also affected the young quarterback for Miami some, even had a false start on their punt. So I really appreciate the fans and what they meant to us tonight.
And can you kind of expound on Cedric Gray's performance? There was the play, I guess it was the second quarter, where he could have basically just given up on the play and allowed the touchdown. He ended up making a diving tackle at the 5. I kind of felt like that effort kind of extended on to later in the game when he had a couple of interceptions.
Yes, you'll have Jeremiah coming up here in a minute, and he can talk about Cedric because he's his mentor and leader to the young guys that are out there. But Cedric was not that highly recruited, and he was a safety and inside receiver, like a slot receiver in high school. So he's got great hands and he's got great effort and he's real smart. And Jeremiah's teaching him so well, and Coach Thigpen does a great job with our linebackers. But every time Cedric plays, he gets better. And you think he's only played in like 6 games in his college career. And we're going to have somebody take Jeremiah's place next year, like we had to replace so many of those great players last year. So it'll be fun to hear him talk about Cedric, but Cedric just plays with more confidence every day, and you can see he can really run. And I thought I might have missed it, but it looked like Tony Grimes made a great play on the first slant when the ball popped up that Cedric intercepted. And then we had a great defensive call on the second interception with Cam Kelly, and Cam's got outstanding hands because that's he had the great interception against Duke as well. So I think that Cedric's just going to keep getting better and better. And like I said, when Jeremiah comes up here, he can talk to you about Cedric. But Cedric, like Jeremiah, works every day. He brings it on the practice field every day. He loves to play. He's passionate about playing. And you can't say enough about young people that love to compete. And what we would like to give these guys before they leave is confidence in themselves, because a lot of people don't have that. And that's a very difficult thing to live your life without confidence. We'd like to have them learn how to overcome adversity, which our guys did tonight. They had time and time again that had a chance to put it away, and we didn't. But we won the game, and that's important. And you've also got to be passionate about something, and give everything you've got to whatever you're involved with. So confidence, handling adversity, and competitive and passionate enough not to be afraid to lose, not to be afraid to put yourself out there, but to make sure that you give everything you've got. And then usually if you do that, the outcome will be yours.
All right, Coach, thank you for a few minutes. Please go home and enjoy the victory.
Thank you, guys.